Alright, so now that we have all of our parts made, we're going to put them together and make our mechanical arm. So the first thing that you want to do is we're going to open up a new assembly, go to place, make sure you're in your arm folder, and we're going to bring in part 9, the sub base. Now you want to rotate it so you can kind of see the top here. And remember, it's off-centered a little bit. And that off-center section, so if I look on the front here, that off-center section is going to be kind of more towards the bottom right. So the next piece that we're going to bring in is going to be part 12, that actuator bracket. So I'm going to drop that in. Now, I'm going to use G on my keyboard, and then I'm going to click on that actuator bracket, and I'm going to use this, click on this line above the target and drag it so it's straight up and down. Then I'm going to set it over here on the side because this is about where it's going to go. I'm going to go ahead and orbit my tool so I can look kind of at the back of here. Now I'm going to constrain the bottom of that actuator bracket to the bottom of our sub base. Hit OK. And you see how I can still slide it out. And then I want to do the long side of that actuator bracket with the corner of that sub base. So that's on, it's not moving anymore. So we're going to bring out our next piece. Next piece we're going to bring in is that part 14, the gusset. Now, to kind of get the gusset where you want, I'm going to use this right view, so I'm looking straight at it, and then I'm going to use G to kind of orbit this around. First thing I'm going to do is kind of flip it up, and then I'm going to turn it sideways, and then I'm just going to slide it pretty much where it's going to go, right about there. Then I can use my orbit, turn around so I'm looking at the back side, and now I'm going to go ahead and constrain. So I'm going to constrain the end of that gusset to the end of the bracket, and then you can just do this short little line to here, and it will line those two up. Those are the only two the attachments that you need. Alright, now it's time for the last piece of this little sub-assembly. I'm going to bring in part 8. So I click on place, bring in part 8, pivot rod support. That's going to sit right over top of this hole. So you're going to have to do 3 constraints on this one. I'm going to constrain the edge of that bracket just to the top of the base here. Alright, so that kind of gets it attached. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the center of the hole and the center of the hole. So that lines them up. But the problem is it can still spin around. So I don't want it to spin around. So I'm going to do an angle constraint. So I'm going to click on constraint, and I'm going to select angle, and then I'm going to choose this flat surface to be at the same angle as this flat surface. You want to make sure that you're only using 2 directed angles, not 3, so I use 2. This angle with this angle, hit OK, and you're done. So now I'm going to save this, so go to File, Save As, and make sure that you're in your ARM folder. And I'm going to save this one as sub-base assembly. Okay, I already have this one saved already, so I'm not going to save it again. But you guys save it as sub-base assembly, and you're done.